It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Anspach Hobday. They're from London, and this is the can of their Ordinary Bitter. It's coming in at 3.7% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. I really like the artwork on the can. You've got somebody from maybe 150, 100 years ago there, and then you've got the modern man there, same person, different dress, doing more or less the same thing with massively different technologies. Let's get the beer out into a glass, see what we get. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm hoping for a really, really good best bitter. That's what I'm looking for today. Every time a craft brewer has gone for that style, that best bitter style, to really hone it down and make it as best as they possibly can. The style for me is wonderful. When you nail a best bitter right, it can be fantastic. I love the flavours of the malts coming through. A red malt, look at the colour on this beer. We got a 2 to 3 finger, slightly off-white head, good levels of carbonation, slightly hazy looking beer, but that's okay. It's 2020. It's not the 1990s anymore, where everybody wants a clean and a real kind of great clarity look to their beer. That doesn't kind of happen anymore, and I'm glad, because the more you polish a beer, as I like to say, the more flavour you're taking away, and all that flavour and goodness is going down the drain. I'd rather leave it in the beer. So it looks very good. Let's get the aroma. Like a chestnut coloured beer. Proper looking best bitter. Aroma. Yeah, brilliant. Slightly nutty, biscuity, bready, naturally. And then just a stinging nettle, slight kind of dark fruit, plum and fig aroma, and that's coming from the traditional hops that they've used. I'm presuming traditional hops. It may be New World hops. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Smashing. Fantastic. Stone the crows. Stone the crows. Still this flavour coming through. Still, as I'm talking now, there's a lovely kind of bitterness on the back of the palate. Really, really good beer. Let's pull it apart. So first of all, you get a mixture. It's a combination. It's not all one way. It's a combination of malt and hops straight away, all kind of crammed together very quickly. I would say malt coming in just ahead of the hops in flavour, and then they kind of lock horns. And there's this battle between the sweetness of the beer and the bitterness of the beer, and while they're battling, they don't realise that they're becoming one, and the flavours and everything just comes together, and it's beautiful. So a nutty, biscuity, bready biscuitiness from the malt, if you like. A little bit of red malt, maybe a little bit of caramel malt in there. Really good mouthfeel. A very drinkable, refreshing beer, but there's a little bit of a kind of a malty kind of mouthfeel in there. A slightly medium mouthfeel, if you like, to the beer. And then it's a little bit of lemon, stinging nettle flavours, peppery, spicy, hoppy, bitter finish to the beer. fantastic. So you've got that sweetness over there, bitterness over there, doing a nice kind of balance for you. Like walking a tightrope, and it's all working properly. You're able to go across the tightrope because the sweetness and the bitterness is quite equal, and it's a very, very nicely balanced beer. What do the brewers say about the beer then? The original session beer, ordinary bitters, formed a cornerstone of English drinking culture. Perfectly balanced between malt sweetness and hop bitterness. Interpretation is brought up to date with the use of US Chinook hops. Delicate hop aromas of pine, spice and dark fruits are followed by a smooth, full-bodied palate with notes of biscuit and caramel. I promise you I did not read the side of the can before I did the beer review. I promise I never read the side of the can. I just went straight into it. They mentioned the biscuits and the caramel, which I was talking about, that kind of biscuity kind of nuttiness that I was saying. The Chinook hops, you know, I said it could be New World hops. Then they talk about the balance of the beer, a perfectly balanced beer between the malt sweetness and the hop bitterness. Again, we spoke about that on the tightrope, and it forms a big cornerstone of the English drinking culture. So the malts are extra pale, Maris Otter, maize, flake barley, chit and crystal. The hops are EKG and Chinook. The yeast is US05. Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. What a fabulous beer. It really is. That is, for me, a great bitter. That is a great, great bitter coming in at 3.7% ABV. You think about that now, 3.7% ABV with all that flavour coming through. I could drink 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them on a nice sunny Sunday afternoon. It so happens to be it's Sunday evening now, it's 7:30, but it's been a wonderful sunny afternoon here in Wales today. And yeah, nothing better than 6 of these in the garden on a Sunday. Love it. Let's rate it. Anspach Hobday. I've had quite a few of their beers now. The last one was a notable one. It was like a chili, some kind of chili stout, and it was fabulous. Really, really good. And then following up with this original bitter, or the ordinary bitter, should I say. Brilliant beer, fantastic. Gonna rate it. I really like that. As I mentioned at the beginning of the review, if you get a best bitter right, it can be a fantastic style. It should never be written off. Call it premium ale, call it best bitter. I would say premium ale is a little bit stronger in the ABV. I would say best bitter is, yeah, you think of a best bitter, you think, especially from the 90s and the early 2000s, you think maybe 3.7% ABV. I like that enough to give it a 9 out of 10. So Stone the Crows, 9 out of 10. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.